I guess there's a few things. So there's the things around UK companies law that give all shareholders access to certain information that actually has to be posted on the website. Right now, M-Kopa is in violation of this because what's required to be on the Companies House website is all the information that informed shareholder would need to know to make a decision around the claims on the cash flows that the shares represent. So right now, they're supposed to post that all publicly, but they haven't. They're out of compliance with a few things which I've reminded them of, and they shared some of that documentation with me, but not put on the public site. Even though the British government is involved as a board member and investor, and these are the British government rules, you've got basically the British government like arbitraging the information rights rules. But separately, M-Kopa in, I believe it was 2017, they set information rights as you needed to have 500 shares owned outright, not in the option plan, but owned outright to have access to information. And below that level, you didn't have access to information. And crucially, you weren't allowed to call a shareholder meeting, which Rajiv Suri has reminded me of because I've been trying to call a shareholder meeting with another preferred shareholder, and Rajiv has reminded me that this preferred shareholder, who's Kenyan, is below the threshold. And then in 2021, I believe, or 2019, they raised that from 500 shares to 1750, and they basically put it the number that was just below the level of the kind of smallest white shareholder with around 2,000 shares, and above where there were some Kenyans. So they've set the level so the Kenyans and Ugandans don't have access to the information, and they don't have the right to call a shareholder meeting. They should have never done this nonsense because we should have never treated our shareholders that way. These people have put in money into the company. In fact, a lot of these Kenyans and Ugandans have put in far more money and capital that the current white management has put in. They have more skin in the game, literally more skin in the game. The way they're enforcing them is not legal, and that they unilaterally changed the shares, and they didn't even tell the people who are above the 500 and below the 1750 that we're taking away your rights. They just basically stopped getting notices.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
You know, in UK companies law, you know, it allows you to define a shareholder and articles kind of in a way that you see fit among shareholders. The unusual thing here is the way it's being applied. I don't see how the British government, through their board member, and he's the one that put these information rights in 2017 when they came in and required it, this 500 share that they later raised to 1,700. And the minute a Kenyan owns 2,500 shares, they're going to move that to 3,000. Yeah.
God have mercy upon us.
Put this in. I don't see how you can't apply these things in a prejudicial way based on a certain class. And here we have it basically being applied just to exclude the Africans.